Find us on Facebook, email us at head2headpinball@gmail.com, or go to our website at head2headpinball.com.
Welcome everybody to another episode of the Head2Head Pinball Podcast. This is episode 21 and I'm Martin, and with me are a few people.
First of all, it's Ryan C.
Hello, Ryan.
And we've got... Hey, how you going, mate? They've gone on hiatus, but the hiatus hasn't lasted too long. We've secured an exclusive interview with Tilt. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
And Slam.
Oh my!
It's Bruce and Ron from the Slam Tilt podcast. How you going, guys?
Doing good.
Hey man, it's good. It's good. You're really good. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah.
What's that? What? I have no idea what that was. It's weird without the music. I'm used to the music intro that you guys have there.
Yeah.
I
love your
no
music
live
intro.
person in the background. What time is it there, guys?
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
Saturday
night?
Saturday evening.
Okay. Nothing better to do than record a podcast with your fellow Australians.
This is actually my favorite podcast, so I have nothing. I love this. This is the best thing going.
Good
Wow,
stuff.
Bruce, way to suck up.
Wait a sec. Have I ever said that before to anybody? I don't even say that to Jeff.
And that was our opportunity to say back to you, yours is our favourite. Notice we kind of didn't say that?
No, I noticed. It didn't bother me at all.
Yeah, we noticed that.
Now, Bruce, you've been pretty busy this week with the opening of the Silver Ball Saloon. How's it going?
It's going pretty good. Tonight is Saturday, so it's a busy night upstairs. I'm in the office downstairs at the bar, and I'm watching all the security cameras. And the pinball has 3 people in it, and the bar has about 12 people, and the ball bowler has 6 people, and the pool table's got 3. So
why is it called a bull bowler?
because it actually is a round ball that you're actually bowling. It's got a 16-foot lane, and I have 2 balls in that ball bowler, and you actually are bowling. You're actually pushing, you're actually rolling the ball, and it's actually going underneath the pins and hitting wire-formed switches, and it actually then registers the pins upward. And you actually can bowl, or you can play flash. You can do a couple different games on it.
Very cool. Now, I've heard you've got one of the only stars on site. Is it stars that you've got on site?
Stars and Stargazer.
Okay, so you're probably a millionaire by now, right? Because of those short ball times?
Billionaire. Billion. I actually have a couple. I know when Ryan comes up here, and hopefully Martin does. Wink, wink, hint, hint. We have 4 classics. Actually, we have 5 classics upstairs. We have the Stars, the Stargazer. We have Harlem Globetrotters, Paragon, and then we have 1 EM, which is Grand Prix.
Classy. Very classy.
Nice.
That's all me.
And that's the EM that everyone keeps talking about. Like, if you're going to have one, Grand Prix is the way to go.
Oh, it is. Spinners all day.
Bruce, you say that Ron always edits you out, but this is one of the first times that you're going to be raw and unleashed. Martin doesn't edit out anything, so you can say whatever you want, and it's going to make it.
I like Raw and Unleashed. It sounds like a comedy album title or something.
It is.
Or a hair metal band.
Eddie Murphy Raw. That's going to be the Facebook post. It's going to be Bruce dressed up in Eddie Murphy's reds or purple, depends if it's Raw or Delirious, and I'll Photoshop him in.
That's fucking classic. I love it. My bull not just sitting there going, "Hello, hey, what y'all doing? How you doing?"
Well, what other cameras do you have? You have the ones you put in the bathroom, right?
Of course. But the men's bathroom, of course. So that's the bad thing.
Oh, my.
No, we have 12 cameras in the building, so I can actually go through almost the whole building in multiple clicks.
Have you had any incidents yet since it's a bar?
Yeah, we've had a bar fight. We've let go of 2 people so far out of our employees. So we're just trucking right along.
You're a real bar.
Yes, we're a real bar, right?
What's been the hardest thing? I mean, obviously you had a plan and you executed it because the bar's now open. But what was the hardest thing that you thought was going to be easy, but it turned out to be one of the hardest things, part of the process?
Actually, staffing a little bit. Staffing was in the beginning it was hard, but now keeping everyone happy, that's the problem, because everyone wants Fridays and Saturdays. They're the two busiest days for a bar. And nobody wants Tuesdays and Sundays because they're one of the slowest nights around here. So keeping your bartenders happy is the hardest thing. Plus, actually, it wasn't so bad, but the health department was nerve-wracking, making sure that we pass code for cleanliness and for food preparation or anything like that. And we actually had the health department come in yesterday, and he said most places get between 1 and 2 marks, and we got none. So I was very happy with the staff, and I actually, I gave props and kudos, and I was jumping up and down for joy. So that was a good thing.
Awesome.
The hardest part is just getting the word out to people. That is the biggest thing. So people know that we're here in the town, plus in the area. And I know pinball people know I'm pretty anal when it comes to pinball machines, prep for tournaments and everything like that. But now you're going to get the same quality, hopefully, here with all my games. And I'm here all the time working on them.
Yeah, you might have remembered one of the first interviews that we did with Jimmy Nails from Netherworld, and he said, the biggest thing is you have to be a bar first, and a pinball place is the kind of afterthought, because there's a limited amount of pinball people, but there's an unlimited amount of people that like food and drinks. So,
so I look at that, and honestly, the pinball just draws it in. Like every Sunday, I put 2 pinball games on free play. So the free play games this week will be AC/DC and Whitewater all day free play. So if people come in here, there's signs on the pinball machine say free play, and then we also have a special for food. We have tomorrow is a burger and fries and a beer for $9.
Is that good? I don't know prices in the US. Is that good? Is that a good deal?
Well, you get a free beer. It's actually it's getting a free beer.
Okay, cool.
So normally the burger and fries is $9. You get a free beer for football tomorrow too, or what you guys call fake football, but we won't go into that.
Now, so Ron, you've also been pretty busy as well. One thing I've seen about you is that you're now really getting right into streaming on Twitch.
Yeah. After I got all the laptop and got my rig going, got some of the technical issues out of the way, I wanted to stream games that most people don't see. Or that's why a lot of them have been older games, or things like roller games, which I streamed last week, and I had big game. I mean, who streams big game? It's stuff like that. I mean, it's the hardest part is trying to be entertaining. Like I know you had Jack Danger on last week, and it really is more the personality first, the game is second. So I was thinking of different things I could try. Because I watch a lot of other Twitch stuff that's not pinball related, like video game type stuff, and there's a couple of personalities that
they're so annoying though, aren't they? Right? They just overemphasize everything to the nth degree.
Well, it depends. There's a guy named Dr. Disrespect. I don't know if you've ever seen. He wears this wig and he's got this mustache and he's just completely over the top. If you like pro wrestling, you'd love this guy. And I almost want to try something. Get a wig, do some kind of accent, and just be this other character. You could be an
Aussie. You can be Steve Irwin. You could be the Steve Irwin of the yeah.
Well, here's a funny story. When we used to have Halloween parties at work, years ago, I went as Steve Irwin one year. So I literally have the whole Steve Irwin outfit with a wig, which doesn't really work because my hair is kind of really dark. So I have this blonde wig and it looks kind of stupid. So I wanted to try something. I don't know.
Mate. Do it.
Yeah, I just wanted to be totally silly. Just be this and not even acknowledge that it's me. I have no idea who Ron is. I don't know what you're talking about. And I have to have some kind of accent. And the next stream or so, I'm going to try that. And we'll just see how it goes for the 2 or 3 people who tune in to see it. That's about the number of viewers we usually get.
And how did you go with the technical setup? That for me, so I've been streaming for probably just over 18 months, but it probably took me 2 months just of testing to get everything right.
I ripped off the Buffalo Guys guide.
Yes, same.
Is pretty much what I did. I have Logitech 922 on the playfield and then 920s for the other 2. I actually got my the mounting hardware I just got from a music store because I wasn't happy with some of the stuff you get through Amazon. It was just too cheap. So I got like a Hercules like mount thing so it has like the playfield camera on it and the mic on it. So you actually don't see the mic on my stream because it's actually right above the playfield camera. So it's like right there. And I got another like smaller mount, and the other one just sits on the game next to it. That's one good thing of having like 20 plus games is you can put stuff on the game next to it. And I just I think I'm the only one who uses OBS. Seems that everyone else uses XSplit. I just used it because it was one of the first things I downloaded, and it looks, this looks pretty easy. So I just used that. And the only issues I've had are with the laptop pertaining to Windows 10, honestly. Doing updates when it shouldn't be doing updates and killing things.
Exactly. Yeah. People have been screaming out that all my frame rate's dropped. And I'm like, I'm not doing anything different. But then I see in the background that there's some massive download happening from Windows 10.
Yep. You can turn that stuff off.
Yeah, I thought I had.
Yeah, well, they do automatic. They make it so you can't turn it off. So you have to make it like there's little hacks you can do to make it so it doesn't upload or download updates. That's what I had to do. So that's my streaming story. There'll be more streams in the future, more interesting games, hopefully.
And I like your stream because it really is probably the one that of most of all does play those older machines. And if I had access to them, I would. But I'm glad that you're doing that.
So, guys, you've been doing the podcast now, the Slam Tilt podcast, for the last, year and a half or longer. So, how has your pinball community kind of, has it changed? Has your pinball experience changed since then? Like, do you view pinball differently and do you get treated differently at tournaments and shows now that you're podcast famous?
Well,
I feel regal.
I feel real. I know for me, I mean, most of the local stuff I go to, everyone knows me anyway. So there's really no change there. It's more like if I go to Pinburg and people like, oh yeah, you're from this podcast. I love your podcast. And it's weird. I'm the quiet guy of the two. We can let Bruce say how it's all gone to his head.
Oh my God, it has it. I feel like I am regal and royalty. No, I'm joking. No, I actually get a little, I get a little quiet when I see people go like, "Hey, I know you." I'm like, yeah, hi, how you doing? I know you too. But I feel very grateful and lucky that we have a good community around us that actually listen to us. If you told me we had the listeners that we did, I would be like, yeah, get the fuck out of here, that ain't happening, And then when Ron tells me the numbers, I go, really? He's like, yeah, really? I'm like, oh, wow, I'm just blown away. And I'm very grateful that we do have great listeners on our side and great listeners and great shows that we can actually all listen to. I listen to almost every show. Almost every show.
Do people ever interrupt you, Bruce or Ron, in the middle, like they ask you your opinion on something and then you give it to them and then they say, they stop you halfway and they said, I've already heard you say that on the podcast. It happened to me this week where someone asked me a question, I answered it, and then I started talking about something else. It's like, I'll listen to the podcast. Like, you don't need to repeat yourself. I've
had that a couple times where like, oh, I've heard your story about this already. I'm like, okay, so next. How about you, Ron?
Mine are more like, I heard that show. I agree with you. Something like that.
Yeah, people will have a conversation with me, and it's like they've started mid-sentence, and I'm like, who are you? You give me the backstory, and then I realise that I probably said something 3 or 4 weeks ago, and they're continuing that conversation.
Yes, totally agree with that one, because you're like, huh? What? Huh? But I'm very grateful that we have great pinball players that want to listen, enjoy the shows, agree with most of our stuff, but some do disagree with us, and that's
Algar sucks.
Ron gets all the
Algar sucks.
Algar rocks.
Have either of you guys played Algar before?
Yeah, I have.
Not me.
Martin?
I like it.
But
I like it because, well, look, I'm on record for not having necessarily the best taste when it comes to pinball, but if
Avatar. Avatar.
Hey, I like Avatar.
Yeah, thank you. But for me, if something is not quite right, if it is a little bit quirky, then I tend to gravitate to that because I've always got the opportunity to play all the great machines. I've done that to death. I'm now looking for things that are a little bit different, and Algar is that for me.
Oh yeah, baby.
There's good quirky, and then there's Algar quirky.
No. God no.
Terrible game. It's so bad. I played that at the 24-hour tournament, and dear God, I hated that even more after playing at that time than I've ever hated it. I didn't think it was possible to hate a machine as much as I hate that thing. It just plays so bad. Oh,
love it. Should we give now, Ron? Should we give the Head2Head podcast listeners an exclusive of what we did today, since they were so nice to let us in to their podcast?
You mean about a certain game we may have put in the basement?
Yes.
Sure. For those who don't listen to our podcast, we have this ongoing thing where Ron's really trying to get a cheetah.
Ooh.
And it just so happens there's a cheetah in my basement right now.
Oh, mate.
That is a great game.
Crikey, mate. A cheetah. A wild cheetah in your basement.
It doesn't work. It boots. It
does
boots.
boot.
It does boot, but it doesn't work other than that. So I gotta work on that.
The EM guy that's traveling around the US.
Yes.
You know you about? Okay.
Yes, this is the one.
So thank you, Nick.
He came through big time. He actually found this cheetah for Ron and myself. And we were going to split it halfway. And then I said, Ron, I got so much crap at the bar and buying games and that kind of stuff. You take it. So then I have a loading dock at work. So they shipped it up from Texas to my loading dock and came to my work Friday afternoon. I threw it back in my car when I got back to work. Brought out the Ron's today. And then on the way back, I dropped it off at Ron's, and on the way back, I picked up a Dirty Harry
You
for the
can't stop
bar.
buying pinball machines.
I didn't buy this one.
Okay, was it?
It's actually one of the operators, one of the guys who operates pinball in Syracuse. He has two at my spot right now. He's like, hey, do you want to take this? I'm like, yeah, I'd be happy to take it. So Ryan was nice enough to give me his Dirty Harry, and I'm going to set that up tonight and tomorrow, and we're going to have game number 18 at the bar.
Now, with the people that are operating at your bar, do you have? Do they give you full access to the machine, like keys and everything?
Ryan does from Syracuse, and so does if you listen to our podcast, Zach.
Yes.
Zach has the Grand Prix,
Hi, Zach.
So that's his. Hi, Zach. Everyone says hi when we talk about this. The op that actually does my vending, which is Todd from Knox Amusements in Rochester, New York, he does not give me access to the machines, but he's one of my good friends from the league and everything like that, so I just chat him on Facebook, and sometimes within hours, sometimes he's actually come here 30 minutes after I had a problem and fixes the machines.
Very cool.
So I have really good, and they're incredible service. Knox Amusements, I cannot say anything bad about. Todd does a great job with his brother and his father, and we're very happy with them. So they actually have a couple pinball machines here. They also have the jukebox, the ATM, the pool table, the dart machine, and the two pinball machines so far. And I wanted to bring more pins in also.
But no one has stars, so you're the only billionaire in the club, right?
Billionaire in this whole state of New York, baby.
Now, Bruce, you've got a famous name because there's a famous actor, Bruce Willis, and
Oh yes.
believe it or not, Bruce Willis has no pinball machines, I believe. No movies represented in the pinball world that he's a star of. So, what pinball machine, guys, would you like to see out of all the Bruce Willis movies out there? We got Die Hard, Pulp Fiction, The Fifth Element, Armageddon, Sixth Sense, 12 Monkeys. I don't know how far down the list I want to go.
12 Monkeys. Oh God.
Moonlighting. Just go right for the TV show Moonlighting.
Moonlighting.
The Last Boy Scout.
He's actually obviously had some very beloved movies, and Die Hard, which everyone talks about, and yes, I'm yet to see a Die Hard film. He's also
Oh my God! Really?
not a single Die Hard film have I ever seen.
Okay, Martin, please, for Christmas, that is my favorite Christmas movie of all time.
It's not a Christmas
Nakatomi
movie.
Towers.
It is a Christmas movie.
Is it?
No, it's not.
It happens
It is.
during Christmas.
It is.
It's his Christmas party for his wife's company.
The movie came out in the summer, Bruce.
I know, but it is a Christmas. Well, you think half these Christmas movies come out in this, always in the winter?
Yes.
I think A
Christmas
Wonderful Life. I
movies
don't
come
think
out
they-
around Christmas, Bruce. That's
Let's
the way
check.
it works.
Let's check.
So do I
That's
need to see them all, or can I just get away with seeing the first one?
First one's the best.
First one's the best.
The
Second one's not bad.
Third one is easily the best.
No way!
Third one.
Samuel L. Jackson. They're going through the town solving puzzles. It's freaking hilarious.
But it gets a little long at the end.
Jeremy Irons is like the bad guy in that.
Number one, number three are very solid. Number two is a bit of just a cash grab, right?
It is. I agree. They're all cash grabs. Come on. The fourth one was really a cash grab.
He was good at.
All right. Well, would you rather a die-hard pinball machine representing all those three movies? Because the fourth one, and I'm not even sure if there's a fifth, pretend it doesn't exist. Or would you rather a Fifth Element pinball machine?
I'd rather have a Fifth Element.
Yeah, Fifth Element all the way.
Yeah. If I have to do all the Die Hard movies, I'd say Fifth Element. If it was just one, like the first one, probably Die Hard.
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. The way I see it, if you've got Die Hard pinball machine, I think it sort of it makes sense. It would be the art would be there, the modes would be based on the movies, and you would get a machine by numbers. I think with the likes of Fifth Element, I think the visual style of that will lend to a very interesting playfield.
I was thinking of Die Hard, you could have a broken glass mode.
Yeah.
Like in the movie, I don't know, if like you hit certain targets, you lose points or something because you get weaker because you're stepping on glass.
Like an anti-switch frenzy or something?
Yeah, something like that. Use like the rollovers. Like you don't want to go over the rollovers. Something different. I don't know. Always looking for something different.
In the movie for Bruce, yeah. Yeah, it could be like an anti-switch frenzy. Like you have to complete a mode, but you're only allowed to hit like say 40
ramps.
Switches. In that, ramps, and every time you hit switches, it deducts it. If you get down to zero, the mode's over. That could be fun.
Beautiful. Make it happen, Stern.
Yeah. Well, wasn't there a rumor of a Pulp Fiction movie somewhere? I know there's rumors of everything, but wasn't there a Pulp Fiction Super LE rumor floating around a year ago or so?
I think there was, but I don't see that happening. There's too many good stars and big stars to pay off, unless we get like good voiceovers like we do with Guardians of the Galaxy. Oh.
Unbelievable.
Yikes! Yeah, no. Mr. Ron, A Wonderful Life came out in January of 1947, not Christmas time. Have a nice day.
Okay, Bruce. It was probably supposed to come out on Christmas and was delayed. Would be my guess.
Let's see more.
There are some. I'm going through the list of Bruce Willis movies. There are some really bad Bruce Willis movies. Obviously, I obviously only remember Die Hard, Pulp Fiction, and Fifth Element. Those are so good that I hold him in high regard. But he really has been in some stinking movies.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of bad ones.
I do love him though. He's a good action hero.
He yells and screams almost like Stallone does. So it's good.
Oh no, not that level. No one yells at Stallone level. Sorry. What was that?
That was the Stallone call out.
That was Stallone's last call out before he dies.
Ryan does it better. What's the call out?
Come on, mate. Martin, you got to do it. But it's got to be from the belly, right? You got to get deep down. It's not from your throat.
Deep down.
Deep down. Go, Martin. No, come on, Martin.
You got to remember, I've seen the movie once.
See, you got to go down, up. You see?
Oh, it's up. It's all in the inflection.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it is.
Do you want to do? What are we doing first? Are we doing Martin's game or Ryan's game?
You're the host.
Games, I love it.
We love games.
Okay, let's teach you some slang first. What's this segment called, Marty?
This is the Mega Aussie Slang Test. All basic Australian terms explained.
All basic. Oh, I'm supposed to know the first letter of I wasn't paying attention. I'm sorry.
Can I just say it? Fail.
Okay, what is it, Bruce?
I don't know. He asked you. I don't listen.
Anyway, so We'll get onto the quiz. So we did this last week where we were teaching Jack Danger some Aussie slang. He is now in Australia, and I'm pleased to report back that based on the streaming that I've watched, he has learnt quite a lot and actually has learnt some more. And because you're going to see Ryan next year, and I think it's very likely you may see me next year as well. This is so you can communicate.
Great.
This is so you can communicate to us when we come over.
Now, wait a sec. You were supposed to come over possibly to the U.S. soon?
It's looking like, yes, it's looking like in the new year. So there may be a particular event I might just be able to get it timed around.
East Coast or West Coast?
West Coast.
Of the U.S. Oh, fuck. If it was East, I would actually go out and try to meet you.
Yeah, no, it's West Coast. So hopefully I'm going to be able to get to Indisc is really what I'm saying.
Oh, very cool. Jim's show is great. Those guys do a great job out there.
I went there a couple of years ago, and it was just a really good way to feel welcomed into the US tournament scene by Jim and Carl. They were great.
Yes, they're great. Both of them just rock.
And Johnny Modica as well was very, very good to me. So shout out to those guys. So
yes, definitely.
So we're going to go through a couple of terms, and we're going to put it to you, and either of you needs to shout in and tell us what you think the meaning of this word is. And it's an Australian word. We also believe that some of it's used overseas as well, but these are very quintessential Aussie terms. And the first one I'm going to go with is spunk.
Ooh.
Cool. Like, I'm cool. I'm spunk.
Is it a porn term?
Well,
Can you put it in a sentence, please? Put it in a sentence, please.
Oh, mate, you're a real spunk.
Happy?
You're a real great dude.
It means you're a really good-looking person.
Oh, I would never get
Oh, yeah, we wouldn't get that.
No, not at all. That's why we're on podcasts.
All right. What would I be saying if I said too right?
Too right?
Yeah.
Like, you're right?
It means definitely.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Too right, mate.
Too right, mate.
Wow, I gotta write this down.
Do you want to go to the bar? Too right.
Too right. I'm going to use that at the bar tonight.
The next one, bugger.
Like bastard? You bugger? You bastard?
It has many uses, though.
That's a problem. Like, that's a bugger of a problem.
Yes.
Use it in a sentence, buddy. Use it in a sentence.
Oh, you guys, you can bugger off.
But Ron, you say it in an Australian accent. You have to answer your answer in an Australian accent because you do it so well.
Oh, God. That's right. Does it mean fuck off? Is that what it means?
But what would it mean if I said, I'm so buggered?
Tired?
Yes. It has many. It's a very diverse word. You can use it.
I'm very frustrated.
Yeah, bugger-all. Bugger-all is another one that means, you've got nothing, like a bugger-all.
Okay.
All right. If I said I wanted to scab a durry off you, what does that mean?
Well, is it the proper thing to say when you're married and, with kids, you know what I mean? You trying to hit on me or something?
No.
Can I have that in a sentence, please?
Mate, I'm craving one. Can I scab a durry off you?
Cigarette.
Yes.
Oh, there you go.
And scab means borrow or get, really.
Oh, that's cool.
Scab pretty much means you're going to borrow it, but you're never going to pay the person back.
Yeah. We say bum. Bum a cigarette. Can I bum a cigarette off you?
So if I said I was going to Macca's, where would I be going?
Macca's?
Yep.
Macca's. Can I have it in a sentence?
I'm really hungry. I'm going to go to Macca's.
Oh, restaurant?
McDonald's.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's McDonald's.
Oh.
You guys say Mickey D's, right?
Yeah.
Mickey D's or.
Well, that was their ad campaign for a while. We were supposed to call it Mickey D's. I still call it McDonald's.
So we've actually now had in Australia the branding of a McDonald's actually rebranded as Macca's.
Wow.
Really? Okay.
Yep.
Now, I'm going to recommend something to you, Martin, when you go out to the West Coast. You have to go to, you're going to be in LA, right? So there's two places you have to go. Tommy Burger.
Right.
And In-N-Out Burger.
Been to In-N-Out.
Yeah.
Love it. Haven't been to Tommy's.
Tommy's has chili. Thick, heavy chili on top of burgers and on top of fries. That is a Los Angeles staple. Trust me.
I still maintain for me my favorite, Carl's Jr. every time.
No, good. We actually, when we go to California Extreme, we go to Hardee's / Carl Jr.'s, and we'd eat Of course, Ron only eats plain burgers. Nothing
Plain
on
burgers.
it. Just a plain burgers. He just orders a plain burger and then add ketchup to it. That's it. How bad is that? I didn't know the co-host.
That's very boring, Ron.
Yep. It fits my podcast personality also as the boring one.
All right, I got another bit of slang for you. Dead dingo's donger.
Is that the Australian Santa's reindeer name or something? Dead Dingo Donner.
Yep. I'll use it as in a sentence. Oh man, it's as dry as a dead dingo's donger.
I don't want to say what I think it is. What, a dead dingo's dick? Nice.
Crikey.
What about uru?
Ooh, root. A sentence on that one, please.
Oh, it'll give it away, but thanks, mate. See you later. Uru.
Goodbye.
Yes.
What would I be having if I had a cuppa?
A cuppa?
Cuppa.
Cuppa.
Cup of coffee?
Yes.
That's right.
Oh, I
Cup of
guessed
coffee.
that. Okay. So you guys drink coffee?
Yes.
Or then tea? It's not like the tea thing?
Melbourne is absolutely obsessed with coffee. So
Okay.
yeah.
So when
Cool.
you guys come over, we can take you and have a good cuppa.
Cuppa. My wife will be very happy if we ever go over there because she loves your guys' accents. Whenever we live at home, or when Martin does the streams, I'll be watching it and she'll be like, "Oh, they're on again! Oh my god!"
It's the service we do for you.
It is, and then she's very happy for the rest of the day because I'm like, "All right, great!" She just loves your guys' accents, so she's like, "Oh, I'd love to go there and just listen to them." She's like to sit at a bar, and just be like, "Ah."
Well, the invitation is always open.
I know.
So when you do come over, we can have a tinny.
Tinny.
Tuna?
Tinny. We can have I'm thinking a pint like a beer.
Yes.
Well, it is, but it's in a tin can, so it can't
Okay.
be in a glass. It's in a tinny.
Okay, well, there you go. At least I'm ready. I'm ready to go now. See?
All right. Well, you're going to be ready with one more. What
Cool.
is a duvalaki?
Is that like a prophylactic?
Some kind of lubrication product, maybe?
Duvalaki.
Sentence.
Yes.
Oh, I've lost the. What's it called? The duvalaki.
Okay. You lost your cell phone?
An object. Like I lost that doohickey.
Yes, or a thingamajig.
Thingamajig. Yep.
Last one from me. If something was to cark it, what would that mean?
It's a cocket.
Die?
Yes.
Well
Okay.
done. So now
It's
you can come
cark it.
over to Australia and you can get through immigration because they ask you those questions on your entrance form.
Oh my.
Oh my.
It's also used with if your car stalls or something. It's carked it. It's gone. Stalled. Good stuff, guys. Now you're trained Aussies.
Well done.
You can use them when you come back from hiatus. All right, it's time for anal crap. I've forgotten what the anal crap stands for, but it's anal crap.
Oh,
He makes the acronym and then he forgets it. I love it.
A new age legend cracks Ryan's awesome puzzle.
That's it. All right, so we got three people here, and Slam and Tilt, you're not joining up forces, so someone's gonna take home the title. Is it gonna be Martin winning his first one, Bruce or Ron? So, Martin, are you using the same buzzer?
Go for the wall.
Okay.
damn, that's the one I would use.
Yeah, it's so good.
Mine's gonna be play better.
Cool.
Play
The voice of Skull. Yeah, play better.
And Bruce?
Oh my.
Couldn't have
That's
been
not from a
anything
game.
else.
Okay, I can do one from the game. Shoot here and here.
Okay.
Is that Terminator?
Okay.
Where is that from? Is that from T2?
Terminator 3. When
Terminator
you
3.
actually start a ball, it shows shoot here and here for multi-ball.
right, we got 10 questions. Okay, whoever
Okay.
buzzes in first, and there might be a bit of a delay. So Martin's got the advantage because I noticed when we were recording, it sounds like Martin's buzzing in early, but he's not. So it's whoever I hear first.
Okay.
What was the first pinball machine with flippers?
Play better.
Ron?
Humpty Dumpty.
Yeah.
Yes. Ron won. Okay. How many reactors are there in TNA?
Shoot here. 10.
Bruce?
10.
No.
Play better.
Yes, Ron?
9.
Yes. Okay. This one is worth multiple points, and the way it's going to work is there's, I think, 4 correct answers. You have to name them all. If you don't name them all, someone can buzz in and steal all of your points. Okay, so only buzz in if you know them. In Junkyards, name the other machines that you can go back in the time machine and play a mode in.
Shoot here and here.
Yes, Bruce.
Okay, there is Twilight Zone. There is Addams Family.
Is there Twilight Zone?
I thought there was.
I don't think so, but keep on
Okay,
going.
then. No, then I'm done.
Play
I don't
better.
remember the answer.
Yes, Ron?
Let's see. Attack from Mars.
Yes.
Adam's Family.
Yes.
I don't know any others. That's a terrible game.
Runs on 2. Chance to steal Marty. If you get one more. He's Googling it, isn't he?
Well, and I'm in my mind, I'm trying to remember because there's actually one that's even older than Attack from Mars. Nah, I'm out.
Okay. It was T2 is Payback Time, and there's Movie Car.
Of
that's
course, that's the one.
Creature.
Yeah.
And there's one secret one which I think that was in development. They never ended up bringing out. So Ron got 2. So Ron's on 4, and Bruce and Marty, you're both.
I suck.
Yeah.
The first wizard mode for layer 1 in Star Trek is Kobayashi Maru. What is the second layer wizard mode called?
Go for the wall.
Marty.
Enterprise Amok.
Oh, Marty with 1 point.
Yeah, bitches.
I own the game and I didn't get it.
I've never been there, but I know what it's called.
I've never been there either.
In Spider-Man, what is the name of the mode where you have to hit all the switches to complete the mode?
Oh, go for the. It's me. It's shoot here and here.
Yes.
Bone saw. Bone saw. Bone saw.
All right. What machine is this call out from? You ready? The rope is breaking.
Go for the wall.
Shoot here and here.
Bruce, you just got in, Bruce.
Tales of the Arabian Nights.
No.
Oh no!
No, it's Theatre of Magic. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Fucking Papa Duke sucks.
Score update. Ron's on 2. Ron's on 4. Marty 2. Bruce, you're on 1. You gotta bring it up the rear, Marty.
Whoa.
All right. Which pinball software coder has made it his personal life mission to blind every person
Go for
that
the
plays
wall.
his pinball?
Play better.
Yes, Martin.
Dwight
Yes.
Dwight who?
Sullivan.
Wait, who?
Okay. In this pinball machine, don't answer the questions after. In this pinball machine, you use the Force, Star Wars. Okay. Now, how many magnets are there on the Star Wars LE pinball machine?
Shoot here and here.
Yes.
0.
Bruce?
0.
Wrong.
Play better.
Yes.
2.
Yes, Bruce. Wrong.
Well, go for the wall. I'm going to say 1.
Ah, you're all wrong.
What?
3. It's 3.
3.
It's the hyperdrive. It's 3 or
Yes.
4. I think it might be 4 because I think it was one more than the way. Yeah, that was a trick question. Okay, in the Hobbit pinball machine, this is your question, Marty.
Sure.
How do you get to Erebor?
Go for the wall.
Yes, Marty.
Shoot the spinners. They're the best part
Yeah.
of the game. I love spinners.
All right, time for the last question. Score update. Bruce, you're on 1. Marty, you're on 4. Ron, you're on 4.
This one's worth 5 points.
It's worth 4 points. 4 points is enough for you to take the thing. Okay.
All right.
Okay. Well, okay. Now, there's no need to buzz in on this one as well. This is another jackpot call out. So I'm gonna name.
Terrible at
this. This is like last week with the jack fucking pot. Okay. Now, I just want you to yell out. This is worth 4 points. I want you to yell it out 4 times. You ready? The museum multiple call out in Demo Man.
Shoot
I let you have that one, Bruce.
Fuck yeah!
Bruce, you're the winner.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I broke the recorder. Volume.
So, Ron, what's your favorite pinball machine at the moment, Ron, besides, well, not besides dialed in. It's dialed in, right? Like, you've been playing that nonstop?
My game of the moment, yeah. And I'll tell you from the your last podcast, you need to get the guy working, the die guy. It does make a difference. It does make a difference, especially if you get to chaos in Quantum City, because he like goes back and forth to like block stuff as you're playing. So you definitely want him working.
Yeah. I've got the part in the mail, but I got to Armageddon for the first time, and it was absolutely amazing. It was funny. Someone messaged me during the week, and he said, "I'm thinking about buying dialed in," and he didn't say like, should I buy it? Shouldn't I buy it? It was like the first time someone asked me this question, like, give me a reason not to buy it. Like, what's the worst thing about the pinball machine? And there was a couple of little things I mentioned, but it wasn't enough. It was like
what else?
The layout. The layout's freaking the best thing about it. Yeah, he ended up putting a deposit on the pinball machine because what I told him, the annoying things about it. He said that's not a deal breaker for me. So, how would you answer that, Ron? If someone said convince me not to get dialed in, what would you say?
Price.
Yeah,
and it will probably not come to you dialed in. So you better be able to make adjustments yourself, or know someone who can.
Yeah.
As I'm sure you found on yours. I mean, mine, I had to make little adjustments here and there, and I still don't have the right orbit ramp working the way I want it. Every once in a while, it doesn't register because I think it's actually jumping the switch when it hits the wire form.
Yeah, it's
really annoying when that happens. And the trapdoor thing, that seems to just be an ongoing problem where they're just not using the adjustment tab like it's supposed to be used. So people keep getting trapdoors that just stay up. Yeah. I don't understand why they keep doing that. Well, they just don't adjust the thing like it's supposed to be. But other than that, I mean, like you said, the little thing where it comes off the wire form from the lock area and it's too close to the tip of the flipper, so you can't hit the center shot. You'll want to. There's things you want to dial in like that. And I have mine jacked up pretty high. Like you're gonna have to screw with the power settings. I've yet to see one that comes like correct. You're gonna have to up some of the flipper power. You're gonna have to screw with the magnet settings. It seems like a lot to do for a $9,000 game, honestly. But
that's the thing I was explaining to a friend. He was kind of upset because he said, I've only ever bought 2 pinball machines new in box. A Tron and this, and this cost so much more than my Tron when I bought it new in box, but I didn't have to do anything to my Tron. I'm like, well, that's because there's nothing on it. Like there's a spinning disc, and that's it. It's all, there aren't many moving parts, and I don't know. Do you think they kind of get a pass because of how good the game is and how many kind of things are on there, or do you think it really should be dialed in better from the factory?
Honestly, I think it should be dialed in better. Yeah. Just for the simple fact it's $9,000, and they market it as like the Cadillac of games that's going to go to a lot of high-end like collector people who don't work on their own games. So
no, I actually think it's perfect because it is a Cadillac, and Cadillacs suck.
Thank you, Bruce, for interjecting.
Yes.
Going back to your other question, is when I'm not playing dialed in, lately I've been playing a lot of big game for whatever reason. Just really, really digging the big game.
Okay. Is that the one, you have that in your basement, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. It's the one with
that was the
tigers
one that
and stuff on it.
absolutely killed me at Papa this year. I think you were in the B finals as well. I don't know whether you got to play it.
Yeah, oh yes, yeah, and honestly, the one that's at Papa is probably one of the main reasons I wanted to get one, or when one came up, I went for it because theirs plays so brutal and fast. It's like,
really
wow, this
does.
is a wide body. This is a wide body. This doesn't play like a wide body, and I just was digging it. So when one came up at the right price, yeah, me and Bruce both got. Well, Bruce got two of them because he's crazy.
Thank you.
So I got one of them.
Two at the same time, just like multiple times I've bought 2 games at once, like 2 Sea Witches, but luckily Ryan listened to me and got his Sea Witch when.
I've been playing that thing non-stop, mate.
See?
No, I haven't. I've probably played about 20 games
What?
on it.
Fail.
That is a true blue fail.
It's got 4 flippers, man. How can you fail? Come on.
I've got to do that thing where, as I said, you walk into a room, you turn them all on, you play one on each game. But I always play horrible games. I play horribly when I switch on a machine and play it the first time. So I always feel like I have to have one more, and that machine is dialed in. So I'll just play dialed in for 3 hours straight, and then I want to go to bed. Like I'm done. So maybe when dialed in leaves, I'll make that my promise that I have to do. So we'll see. Well, guys, there's This Week in Pinball, which is an awesome website from Jeff, and we use it. I know you guys use it as well. They've got their first annual TWIPY Awards, This Week in Pinball, TWIP, TWIPY Awards. So I thought we'd go through the list and maybe answer the questions together. So the first question is the best theme of the year, based on theme only. So nothing to do with how it's integrated into the pinball machine or how well the theme is represented, just the best theme. If someone's used the word split it out, say, yeah, I want that pinball machine. We got Alien, Lexi Lightspeed, The Jetsons, TNA, Dialed In, Guardians of the Galaxy, Aerosmith, Batman 66, and Star Wars.
So is it best theme as far as
Best
I
theme.
would like, or just the best theme that I think will sell the most units?
Well, probably
Probably you like.
I guess since probably that you would like.
I mean, as far as selling units, I would say, was Star Wars one of them?
Yeah,
Yes.
Star Wars.
Okay, for selling units, I'd say Star Wars. For theme that I liked, I would say probably TNA.
You like blowing up shit, do you?
Yep. Yep. I like the simplicity of that game a lot.
Bruce?
Okay, so for World Under Glass, Batman 66, of course. But for because first I didn't like it, but now I love it. But no, we're gonna go with for best theme. Truly has to be Star Wars, even though I hate the game. That's just totally it's the winner because it makes money.
Not big, yeah. Marty, would you agree?
Well, no, I've actually already done my vote, and for best theme, I chose Alien.
Yeah, he is an Alien guy.
Yeah.
He hasn't really. We have one local, and we can't play it.
Yeah, I have played it, and it's not necessarily the execution, because theme integration and all that stuff, all those categories are coming. But for me, out of all those themes, Alien it's the best theme.
Oh, come on. Batman 66 is a world under glass. It's got all this color and art, and it's just, everyone loves it, and you just got to go with it.
Let it go, Bruce. Let it go. Let it go. It's okay.
See, that's the cool thing. That's staying in there. That's not getting edited out. That's Bruce Raw.
Yeah.
All right. Best theme integration. Dialed In, Batman, Star Wars. This is all the same pins. Dialed In, Batman, Star Wars, Lexi Lightspeed, Aerosmith, Guardians, TNA, Alien, and Jetsons. Which one do you think the theme is integrated the best?
I'll say Dialed In, just because it's original. I mean, you can't be more integrated than something that's completely made up.
That's true. That's actually true.
I was actually going to go with Aerosmith.
That was what I went. I voted Aerosmith.
Because the concerts, the music, it all fits it. I actually think the integration with that theme is really done well.
Agreed.
Toy box,
okay.
everything.
Okay. Well, 2 for Aerosmith, and I'll go Dialed In as well, because what Ron said is true. Like theme integration. If you're making up your own theme, then everything you do is inherently right, isn't it? If you want a cheesy, futuristic disaster city, then that's what it is. So I'll go for Dialed In. All right, best sound call-outs. Batman, Jetsons, Aerosmith, Lexi Lightspeed. I'm just going to stop saying Lexi Lightspeed because you're not going to choose that for anything.
God, no.
Rule it out. And let's rule out Jetsons while you're there.
Star Wars. Star Wars. Jackpot. Dialed In. It's so bad. TNA, Alien, Guardians. Oh gosh, this should be the better one. Would be the worst call out because that would be harder because it'd be like 5 really good pins. Run.
Call.
Well, don't forget it's sound and call outs.
Yeah,
And
sound.
sound makes it right away TNA.
Yeah. But what I'll just to be a dissenter, and even though I think it's just plays the gameplay is so clunky. I say Alien.
I'm definitely a TNA on this one.
For me, total nuclear annihilation. Just based on the music soundtrack alone, that machine wins.
Yeah, I would. If the dialed in call outs were better and a bit more hardcore, I would definitely have dialed in because the sound package is amazing. But I've been playing a lot of Billy Williams games recently, and almost every Billy Williams game, except for say like No Good Gophers, I love the call outs. Even just like in Indy 500, just everything they say sounds so cool. And I wish dialed in had that kind of retro coolness factor. So I'm going to go dialed in second and TNA first.
So you don't like the droning, like, I'm Mike Benter, jackpot. Aren't you excited?
It's too dry. It's drier than a dead dingo's donga for me.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my.
Swing.
So you're more like World Cup soccer, just insane.
Oh!
Not that insane. It doesn't need to be that over the top. It just needs to sound cool. Like I think I explained that on one of the other podcasts. Creature from the Black Lagoon. It's very campy. It's very like lighthearted. But when you hit like a shot, he'll be like 5 million. It just sounds cool. Like you achieve something and someone is everyone.
White round.
I don't like I guess they're all David Thiel pinball machines. Like the Tron. Robotic chick. I think TNA has that call out as well, where it's literally just like a robotic female saying jackpot, jackpot, jackpot. It's not bad, but I'd like something a bit more like when you're playing Game of Thrones. Would you rather hear the guy screaming out Blackwater multi-ball, or would you rather hear the girl saying go for the super jackpot? Which one gets you more excited? Come on.
You need to play 24. The greatest jackpot callouts ever.
Jackpot. I do like the itchy and scratchy ones. Like they're awesome. I don't know. Obviously, there's a fine line with that kind of stuff. So, all right, let's move on. Best artwork: Jetsons, Batman, Guardians, Lexi Lightspeed. It's not really artwork, is it? Because it's kind of plastered over the LCD. TNA, Alien, Aerosmith, dialed in, Star Wars.
Aerosmith.
Yeah, I said Aerosmith.
I'm going Guardians of the Galaxy.
I'll go.
I like all those hexagons.
You can never have too many. I'm going to go Guardians as well. 2-all. Yep. All right. Best rules/code. Jetsons. Aerosmith, Lexi, TNA, Alien, Batman, Star Wars, Guardians, dialed in.
Dialed in. Hands down.
Ron?
I'll go dialed in just because Batman 66 isn't done yet.
Yeah, I said dialed in too.
Oh, okay. Dialed in for me as well. That's the first one we'll agree on.
Yes.
All right. Best light show. Lexi, Guardians of the Galaxy, dialed in, Star Wars, Aerosmith, Alien, Batman, TNA, Jetsons.
I like the TNA light show.
Just pretend TNA. You're in a dark room playing this pinball machine. So not
TNA. TNA.
Yeah, TNA.
Oh, I've only seen TNA on a stream, and it looks cool, but I've never experienced it in person. I'm gonna cheat and say and dialed in just simply because I've been playing it in a dark room, and the lighting effects are just insane when you when you get into Armageddon.
Yeah, that one
yeah.
wasn't an easy one for me. I sort of did back and forth between TNA and Dialed In, and they were very close. And I went, you know what, might as well give TNA another go.
TNA and Dialed In are kind of probably neck to neck on a lot of these things, but I'm going to lean towards Dialed In simply because I've played it. So
do you like the Chaos in Quantum City, like strobing, lighting effect?
Now, I'm not sure if the code 1.52 has toned it down, but I can now I'm one with the pinball machine during that mode. Like, it doesn't. The first time I played it in a dark room, I was having like a fit. I was like, "Oh my god, I can't see. I'm getting a headache." The second, it's fine now. I can play it.
I agree. It's like it when it started flashing, I'm like, "Oh no, it's going to be one of these," and I got used to it very quickly. It didn't make the shots any easier to hit. I'll say that. I've never had a mode where I'm supposed to hit ramps and I can't hit a single ramp. But that's the whole idea.
Plus,
it just kills your flippers.
It attacks you without even warning. And
the game is literally attacking you, and I love it.
That mode is still getting polished, and they even said it in the firmware. It's a rough cut.
They said it's roughed in a lot. Yeah, a lot of the call outs on that are very rough.
Yeah, so
I could probably do a better voiceover on some of those than I did than the intro to that.
Ron, just record yourself on your phone and just send it to Jack and just say, "Here, I'm the new guy attacking you in Chaos and Quantum City."
When they're just using an effect on someone's voice, it's just like they just ran it through something. You can't stop these attacks. You know.
Ron, that's your voice you can make now for the podcast, for your streams. You can make up the announcer for Dialed In now.
The Mike Banter or the Dialed In?
Yep, there you go.
So, okay, Dialed In Electronics, who is that? Is that meant to be like Google? Is that what they're pretending to be? Is it? You think it's since they are?
I think it's Apple. I think it's Apple. Yeah.
So who's the CEO of Apple? Is it Tim Cook? Is that who it is?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll think of him next time the guy's screaming at me. All right, best toys and gimmicks: Aerosmith, Star Wars, Batman, Jetsons, Lexi, TNA, Dialed In, Guardians, or Alien. Let's go through them quickly. So Aerosmith, you got the toy
box.
The toy box. That's pretty much it. The upper playfield isn't really a toy or anything. Star Wars, you've got the hyperdrive. Batman, you've got the turntable thing. Jetsons, I don't think you have anything there. Maybe the topper that moves back and forth. Lexi, it's an LCD. You've got not much there. TNA,
the Dynasty lock.
Yeah, okay, the Dynasty locks and inline drop targets. Dialed In, you've got the moving guy, the diverter, I don't know. Is that it?
Here we go. You ready? I've got this.
Yes.
I said, believe it or not, Lexi Lightspeed. And let me tell you why. 2 reasons. First of all, that whole back section is a toy that can be replaced. But not only that, the thing I actually really liked about that is, you've got the row of the little things that pop up and the ball can go underneath them. I like that mech. I think that is a great toy.
Okay.
Ron? So Guardians, we've got the Groot head in the middle. And Alien, we've got the alien, the queen eating the ball when she's
That doesn't count. It never works.
No.
It never friggin' works. There was a stream where I think it said like Alien stream where everything works, and literally that still didn't work. I say Aerosmith. I love that toy box. And it's not just the fact that it's flying through the air into the toy box, but when you start multi-ball, the whole thing shakes and the lighting effects and everything. It's just a much better use of the arc.
I'm going Dialed In for this. You have the QED guy, you have the diverter, you have the actual screen in the theater, a good use of that, and the back box display, with all the work.
I forgot about the hologram.
Yep. So I think that is the best, all the best stuff, all in one.
It's close between Dialed In and Aerosmith for me. I mean, Aerosmith is just that one thing, and it doesn't seem that special, but the simplicity of it is so cool. But because I've been playing so much Dialed In, I'm going to go with that because I'm obsessed with the lottery frenzy mode. Just trying to keep on looping that and scratching up the ticket with my head, because if you don't move around enough, you have to scratch it with your hands. But if you bobble your head around, you can scratch the lottery ticket. So I'm going to go with Dialed In because that's get the selfie mode and everything. It's good fun for all. It's a very good, and you can use your phone as well. There's a lot of gimmicks in that game. That's a gimmick master, that pinball machine.
Yep.
best playfield and layout. Should we just give it to Dialed In? Okay, Dialed In or TNA. No one's going to choose Batman, Aerosmith, Star Wars.
What are you talking about? With innovative designs that have with features that have never been seen.
Alien.
Alien might be innovative, but it's a just clunk fest to try to play.
It is clunk fest.
Dialed in. Yeah, Dialed In.
Yeah, I said Dialed In.
Okay. Yep, I go for that as well. All right. Best display / animations. Jetsons, Batman, TNA, Alien, Star Wars, Aerosmith, Guardians, Dialed In, Lexi Lightspeed.
I love the Aerosmith animations.
Yeah, Aerosmith got mine.
I'm gonna stump you all. I actually like Alien for the animations. I actually like it a lot because it's the dark, and if it had if it only had Sigourney Weaver, we would all be good with this game now. But no, it's just I like the feel of it, and it feels like the movie.
I was playing Star Wars on the weekend, and it really is a mess of a kind of a display to figure out what's going on.
I love it.
Aerosmith, I love the integration, but if I wasn't so lazy, if the jackpot animation in Dialed In, if you had that side by side to the jackpot animation on Aerosmith, like the font that they use and that they blow up, you can see like the edges, like the anti-aliasing, like it just looks so cheap.
The machines are more than just the one jackpot. Come on.
I know, but that ruins that. My OCD that ruins it for me.
Ryan's got this thing, man. One little thing is off, and the whole game is ruined.
Yep. Success is 100%.
If you have like it's everything looks nice and clear and crisp, and then the biggest font they put on the jackpot is like this low res thing they've blown up, and it looks like crusty around the edges, and they haven't fixed it. Plus, if you go into their menu, it's still that shitty old menu system. That's part of the display, isn't it? Best display. I go for
Kills me.
All
right. Game of the year. So this is everything together. Aerosmith, Jetsons, Guardians, Alien, Dialed In, Lexi, Batman, TNA, Star Wars.
Dialed In by far.
Yeah,
Dialed In.
Cool. Dialed In. It is. All right. And now these are the non-pinball machine related questions. What is your favorite pinball podcast?
Can I defer?
I'm actually gonna say it's a hard one, but I picked you guys.
Yeah, I picked you guys too.
It's a big circle.
No, Jeff Teolis is probably going to be yelling at me when he hears this.
Oh, no, he was definitely a close second.
No, he actually is my 1A. He won in 1A. The reason why I pick you guys because you go for 2 hours. Jeff goes for a smaller segment, which I like also. I love his shorts, but when I'm driving, I need content, and you guys fill the content for 2 hours at least.
You love his shorts?
Yes.
I love his shorts.
Well, luckily he has briefs instead of boxers, so okay. I'm good,
Okay, I thought I heard that. All right.
I would have gone Jeff Teolis as well, but he hasn't got enough button mashing videos on his Facebook page. Yeah. I need more of them.
Yeah, needs more Aussie content.
Favorite pinball Twitch streamer? Wow, we've got 2 of them on the show here.
It ain't me. I get no viewers at all.
Yeah, same.
I don't really watch many pinball streams.
It's going to be Buffalo for me. It's going to be Buffalo.
I'd say Buffalo. Just for the overall content of the whole channel, that they have different people on different days, different times of the, different times of the day. So if you work nights, literally they have a guy streaming in the morning. If you want to watch that, they have tutorials. They have, head-to-head matches. I don't think you can beat them for just the overall. They even have like tech ones occasionally. So.
Plus, their podcast is a Twitch stream as well, which is pretty pretty ballsy. So they can't edit anything. Like it's they go raw.
No, they have to answer like viewer mail on the fly.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I watch a lot of Twitch. I got to tell you, I watch Twitch more than I listen to podcasts, and this wasn't really easy for me. For me, it came down to 3. There was Dead Flip, obviously, Buffalo Pinball. But the one that I don't know whether that many people know that much is called Pinball Live, a guy out of the UK. His streams are fantastic. But the reason why I picked Buffalo, mainly because I get to watch them more than all the others live, and that is Mixatuna on, I think it's their Saturday night, which is our Sunday morning. So I get to watch that more than any other stream live, so it had to be Buffalo.
Okay.
But I'd highly recommend Pinball Live as well. That's a great one.
Well, I'm gonna, even though you're not the best, Marty, I'm gonna pick you because I watch you the most. I watch you the most because of the time zone. I don't watch TV during the day, so at night when I'm, putting the kids to bed and I've got some time to burn, I enjoy watching you talking crap and getting absolute blind drunk. So,
I was going to say, does it have the most alcohol content? Is that? That's what.
I wish that was a question. Who is the most the drunkest person in the community?
Easy.
Yeah, I know. I think you got that easy.
Maybe that could be my gimmick. I just act bombed. Would that actually be funny? Just miss every shot. Just tilt constantly.
Combine them. Steve Irwin drunk.
Yes.
Oh gosh.
Listening to AC/DC.
Oh god.
TNT.
That would be funny. Crikey, that was a bad shot. Oh, that drain was painful.
This humour's drier than a dingo's donga.
My fucking god.
I only know one of these, but a favorite pinball YouTube channel. I guess everyone that's exporting stuff from Twitch has a YouTube channel, but my one
TV.
Papa. Yes, Papa. Okay, I'm gonna go for straight down the middle just because those guys make me laugh at their stupid antics. So, but Papa's their videos are absolutely amazing.
So I'm going to go a little bit different though. As much as I love Papa as well, my actual favourite is IE Pinball. So that's Carl D'Angelo's.
Oh yes, Carl.
His the quality of his stream is really good.
Incredible.
But he also gives really, really good tutorials.
Sorry, Carl, but I'm going to switch my vote going to Carl. Because he's right. The video quality is incredible.
I'll go with IE Pinball just because of his voice.
As well.
I'm the one left out here. You guys going for quality. I'm going for the cheap laughs. All right. Favorite. I know Bruce and Ron. You absolutely love modding the absolute shit out of your pinball machines. Just LEDs. Everything. Right. So.
Okay. I got like 10 pin stadium lighting kits on the way.
No, I like that new kit. What was this kit we were talking about today, Ron?
Flood.
The blind kit. The flood kit, yeah, the flood blinding kit where you just drowns the whole playfield in supersonic white bright light that you can't even play the game.
Sounds good to me, man.
Yes, it does.
A lot of people got upset about that thread, but I found the humor.
I loved it.
All right, so
my new favorite mod is clown colors. My favorite new mod. That is my favorite new mod. It's just clown colors. Puke clowns.
Yeah, I like you. Got to have LEDs, and they all got to be different colors for different sections.
Yes,
like purple section, a green section of the playfield. It looks great. It looks fantastic.
Oh my fucking god, it kills me.
I'm gonna squeeze in before you, Marty. I'm gonna go for because I thought this is not a silly section, but I thought I don't like any new mods. But then I remembered the Red Smoke, Red Witch. Red Smoke Witch, whatever it's called, by Steve, and that was amazing. That is a classy kind of mod that makes it look like it's meant to be there in the first place. So I'm going for the Red Smoke mod.
Yeah, look, I'm going to go for Pin Stadium, and mainly because...
Oh, Marty!
And I am because...
You haven't even got yours yet.
It doesn't matter. I've seen enough to see what it's going to look like. And Wizard of Oz, even though, yes, I've also got the Red Smoke Witch mod on it as well, and it looks great, it's not what it desperately needs. Wizard of Oz desperately needs more lighting.
You can literally solve it by putting just two spotlights on each of the corners of the slings. Problem solved.
I could stick a lamp on top of it as well, but what's the point of that? There's at least the Pin Stadium does synchronize with the GI, and it will make it look great.
Well, you can synchronize the GI to the lamps. Have you put lamps, Ron and Bruce, on a machine before to brighten it up? It costs like $10.
Like extra ones?
Yeah.
I actually did try to put a few on my Black Knight because it's pretty dark where some of the upper playfield parts. Then I realized why they didn't have lights there, because you really couldn't have them there because the ball would actually hit stuff underneath because of the upper playfield. Whoops. So that didn't work out. Other than that, not really. The only one I did any lighting stuff was my Demo Man, which is fairly yeah. Yes, Stallone. I put LEDs in there with the OCD board because I would not have been able to take the seizure, inducing flickering, and I've been very happy with that. It looks great. I mean, I'm not. Bruce is like just LEDs are the devil or something. I'm not that bad. They're a sin. Yes, Bruce, I've seen some early solid state games with LEDs that look pretty good. No comments. Oh well.
Well, anyway, I mean, the pin staining thing is quite funny because I think the pinball community is quite divided on it because some people love it, some people don't. Some people don't like the way he's kind of going about advertising. But
yeah, it looks interesting, but some of the advertising looks like they have a game that's turned off, and that's the before. And then they have a game that's on is the after.
The dialed in one was the way. Lighting is the hardest thing because you cannot show lighting in pictures or in video because your camera will auto adjust to. It'll pick somewhere on the playfield and it'll adjust to that. So it's something that you have to see in person. I haven't personally seen it, so I'll reserve judgment until Marty gets his.
Yes. Hopefully
all right.
This week.
The results, my entries have been submitted. So if you want to do that yourself, you can go to thisweekinpinball.com and it says, thanks for voting. Look towards the Twippy Awards coming in January. Well, I reckon you should release them on New Year's Eve because that's when they should come out. Anyway.
Wow. Give him some time.
I can't wait for Clown Color to win. Clown Colors are going to win.
Well, does he? Oh, so when you vote, it doesn't say it doesn't give a current running tally.
No, they don't.
No.
Damn.
Those are the worst because people usually figure out what they've done. I'm going to do it again because Dalton got too many votes, so I'm going to vote it down.
Yeah. And again with this, a lot of the answers are multiple choice from a drop down. But when you've got things like favorite pinball podcast and streamer and YouTube channel, that's all going to be free text. So give him some time to compile all of that.
Yes, that's right. People misspelling Melbourne Silver Ball League.
Correct.
All right.
Yes. Obviously your favourite Twitch channel.
So we got some news this week from Stern. They released their monthly Stern of the Union. Not a crazy amount of new information in here. They've got their Guardians of the Galaxy launch parties. Are you buying a Guardians, Bruce, to have at your place?
No, God, no. When I talked to my distributor about one of the games that I was looking at, he's like, "Do you want to buy a Galaxy?" I'm like, "No, not. No, you want to buy a Galaxy at a Guardian? Please, buy a Guardian. But please buy a Guardian." I'm like, "No." Yeah. I don't think they're selling too well.
I've heard the same thing. There's a guy I know, I won't mention his name, but he kind of gets called whenever they haven't sold out LEs, he gets the call because he's quite a big buyer. And he got the call. Would you like to buy Guardians of the Galaxy LE? And there's only 24, I think, coming to Australia, and they're not sold out yet. They will sell out. I mean, Aerosmith sold out eventually. Everything, always does. But I think it would be a slow burner. I think everyone's finally.
Are we now at the tipping point?
Well, I think Star Wars is what tipped it over the edge because everyone kind of was a bit shocked by that, but they still bought it anyway. So the game that suffers is the game afterwards. It's been said already. If Guardians of the Galaxy came out when Metallica came out, it would be the greatest game ever. It would be like that version of Metallica. Code obviously still needs to get there and call outs and things like that, but. People are being overly harsh on it, I think, because of the situation we're in with Choice and what's happened this year with Code and whatnot. What do you guys think?
Lonnie's on the case. We're all good.
I haven't played it yet, so I really can't. I'll be playing it next weekend, so I'll be able to. I mean, from what I've seen on the streams, it plays too long.
But okay, I'm just gonna take what you just said, right? Because here's the issue for me is that right then you said, "Oh, I'm going to play it this weekend." Wait, oh my God! Like I used to remember how excited it was. It's like there's going to be a new Stern on site. I can't wait to get there. I couldn't give a fuck.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you on that one. I really agree with you.
I'm not going to go that far. I do want to play it. I'm not.
But are you going to bust a gut to go out there? Like, I remember once I drove for a few hours to go and play a machine because they got it first. I wouldn't do that now.
No. Nope, I'll wait.
I have a place
If it was TNA,
Yeah.
I would do it.
Yeah, for sure.
Didn't you say, Bruce, that you drove somewhere to pick up some machines and TNA was there, but you didn't want to wait in line to play it for like an hour?
You got it, yeah. Yep.
So,
Yeah.
so you
But
did
there
do
wasn't a line because I was under a time constraint.
He was on a time constraint there.
Okay.
He literally had
I really was.
like what, 5 minutes or whatever.
I had like 20 minutes, and if I had 20, if I actually had, it was only like 15 or 20 minutes, I would have jumped on it. But yeah,
So they talk about the status of the code updates, and we got Walking Dead last week, and this week we got new Guardians code, which was just a kind of a bunch of fixes, but we also got new Batman code as well. Did we? I think. Yeah.
Actually, well, I have a question about that. Walking Dead, right? New code.
Yep.
So who's the coder on that?
Lyman.
Lyman.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what did George Gomez specifically say at Expo
Lyman.
that Lyman wouldn't be working on anything other
At work,
than Batman
yes.
66?
Oh, at work, yes. At home, what do you think Lyman did?
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
telling you,
If I'm
I
a Batman 66 guy, I'm there like, hey, come on,
not.
man.
Yeah.
'Cause I know Lyman. He's so perfectionist.
He'll
do
come
that.
out with yes. I'm just when I saw that, I'm like, really? Because did you read the release notes on that? It wasn't like it was a tiny update.
Well, I saw it for the first time this week, kind of being played by a really good player, and he got into Horde and he did really well, and then he hit Woodbury, and oh wow, it was exactly like Metallica. It was like keep on going or cash it out, and then he cashed it out and got like 180 million or something in Horde, and I was like, wow, that is exactly like. It's pretty much exactly like Crank It Up, but there's only one version of it. There isn't four.
Yeah, which is like the song jackpot, which is probably the first time he used that concept. It's like pass.
The thing is, like these things are so good that like I don't think people are going to get upset if they get repeated. Crank It Up is such a good mode that have it in every Lyman game. No one's going to complain.
Risk reward is one of the best elements that's really been introduced. That kind of thing. Like collect this now or keep going. If you fail, you lose it all. Everyone who doesn't love that? Everyone loves that. Yeah. I love the song jackpot on AC/DC. That's what made me fall in love with the game. Just trying to get a ridiculously high song jackpot. I don't care about Encore. I'm never going to see it.
I've never once stepped up to the machine and tried to finish songs into Encore. To me, Crank It Up. A friend that had Metallica said, "Why do you like AC/DC so much?" And I said, "Do you like Crank It Up in Metallica?" He said, "Yes." I said, "Okay, you're in Crank It Up 100% of the time you're playing the pinball machine, and you're always building that jackpot and choosing when to cash it out." So, yeah,
and that's actually a great game to watch. I mean, if when two people or whatever, 4 people going at it, because you'll see someone get way behind, like, oh, this is over. Like, no, it isn't. You can see these ridiculous song jackpot, like, holy crap, he came back.
Yeah, And the multiplier shot is right in the middle, and it's a risky shot. So it's not like you just hit a 3-target bank, and it's
not like someone takes a big lead in Transformers or something, and you're going to have to wait. Like, oh god, it's going to be 30 minutes for the other person to try to catch up. And I hate Transformers. I'm sorry.
What else we got? That's pretty much it. I mean, Stern, I think this is the time of the year where Stern's going to be releasing, I think possibly Kiss Code and Aerosmith and Ghostbusters possibly in January. But there's a lot of games I need to catch up on. But, the opinion on Stern seems to kind of go in cycles. If they release a lot of really good code updates, everyone's going to probably have short memories and say, oh, everything's good now. And then maybe mid next year we'll be going through the same slump where they'll need to be catching up, but that's the Stern State of the Union. Stern of the Union.
It is.
I wonder for the Ghostbusters update, they'll have like a cheat code you put in, and it says something like, "Are the lights still too bright for you, Ryan C?"
It's more than the lights. You need to do a lot to that game for me to like it.
Totally agree.
I do realize I complain about it almost every podcast. Getting blinded by the lights. Almost. Almost as much as Bruce complained about. He hasn't done it for a while. Complained about Lonnie. Do you just edit it out now, Ron, when Bruce complains about Lonnie?
I wouldn't do that.
He likes me. He likes when I dig my own hole.
I see Lonnie every year at Expo. And one of these years, I just want to have the balls to come up to him and just say, like, can you say, hi, Bruce, this is your favorite programmer, Lonnie, or something like that, and record it? Because I know he doesn't listen to the podcast. And you just play it for Bruce. I think that would just be hilarious.
The one did ask us about it, though, one time. The one did ask us.
About?
About Lonnie. What was it? Why were we so hard on Lonnie?
I'm not hard on him.
Well,
You're the one who's hard on him.
There's your opportunity to give him some feedback.
Oh, he knows my feedback.
What's your
Get
feedback?
something original. The problem is he keeps on copying and pasting every one of his freaking rule sets.
Well, wait a minute. We just said how the whole risk-reward thing has been used on AC/DC, Metallica.
Yes,
now
but with no originality.
He's copy and pasting like middle of the road codes, not amazing code.
Exactly, not amazing code. He honestly, when Aerosmith first came out, which I said it properly after the first time, Kiss mentions were still in the code.
Yeah, Gene Simmons' head adjustments are in the code.
Yeah, we're in the code for Aerosmith. How sad is that?
Well, okay, Lyman might do the same thing. I don't think Lyman sits there and says, okay, I'm going to start coding this and this and that. He might, start off by copying and pasting and modifying. It's just maybe he's better at doing it.
He's tweaking it, and he's trying different things. Lonnie just goes, okay, what's this? Just drag and drop. Here we go. Yep, I'm done. Look, done. Got it all. It just gets old, really. It really does. I hate to say it. I want somebody with more originality. And I did like the one guy that was working on X-Men towards the end. X-Men became from to a pretty good rule set with the combos, with the characters and everything like that. I actually enjoyed that before I got rid of my X-Men. We need a little bit more of that.
Well, what do you guys think is going to happen with Keith Allen? Because you guys have played in tournaments with him and he's an absolute machine. So I think he mentioned on Jeff Teolis's pinball players profile. So he's going to be designing the machine, like the layout, but he's also going to be designing the rule set for it. Do you think that will elevate kind of pinball coding into a different level, or?
I think it'll be addressing some of the downfalls from some of the programmers. Like if you notice the good programmers out there, Keith, Lyman, and now, the one, will all show, their ingenuity and their way of thinking is better than the non-pinball players, which is Lonnie, Dwight, and whoever does Alien. I think that he was just on, but you don't see the originality. I think you see more originality from the professional play, the better players.
Do you think that because Keith plays so many competition games that he's going to be making a really brutal design that, he's going to have really short ball times? Because he spends so much of his life kind of like, playing pinball and waiting for people to play long
well,
games.
If you look at the Archer pinball that he did, and I had a flip of that didn't have a tough layout at all. That actually was actually quite easy, accessible to get into.
Ron?
As far as rule sets, I think he cares about making a rule set that'll sell.
Yes. He wants his first game to be a home run.
Yeah, if he's coding for like the top 5% of players, his game will fail.
Yes.
I mean,
he needs to be both. He needs to be good for beginners, good for middle players, and great for the top. Then it will cover the base. That's what Lyman does.
Lyman is the best at that. I mean, you have a game like Metallica. Okay, there's Sparky. I hit that a bunch of times, and multi-ball happens. Okay, there's your beginner. Then you get more advanced. You get things like crank it up. That even I can get to. I'm not like a top-notch player. And then if you keep going, there's things for better and better players to get into. They're deeper and deeper into the game. There are layers. It's all layered. It has to be that way. If you just make some kind of thing where you got to do 30 different things to get to some wizard mode, and that literally is the only thing, it's going to fail.
So what you're going to say is going to be a giant Deadpool statue on the pinball machine right up the middle, and you have to
it's Golden Girls.
Bash him in the balls. Golden Girls.
It's Golden Girls. Everyone knows it's Golden Girls.
You have to bash Blanche on the face with the balls, right?
Oh my!
Oh my!
Which one was meant to be
There'd be
like?
plenty of
I hate to
content.
use the words. I hate to use the word slut, but one of them was meant to be a slut, right?
Yeah, that was it.
In Golden Girls.
Yes.
Was it Blanche?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Blanche? No.
Yes, it
Oh
was.
yeah, it was Blanche. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, come on.
You had it right. Yeah. I mean, I wish I got a chance to play Archer, but I have a feeling I will still get a chance to play Archer.
Oh, you
Yeah.
will. You will.
Ooh,
Well,
exclusive content.
Well, he'd want to.
Wow.
As I said, I got to play it at InDisc. When was that? The beginning of 2016, and it is a very, very clever layout, and it's very fun to flip. So he would be silly not to have that at his first machine, or if not his second. He'd have to bring some stuff back.
Yeah. Well,
I agree.
when you're hired by Stern and you immediately pull all footage of your Archer game from your YouTube channel,
Yep.
I would assume that means you're probably using at least some elements of it in the game. I would hope. I mean, I don't know. Like he had the the strange science like ball lock thing in there.
Oh, the Newton
I don't
ball
know.
thing. Yeah.
I don't. Yeah. I don't know if they're going to use that or what. That'd be kind of cool. I wouldn't think that could be too expensive to do some of those things. But
And that's what it was. I mean, the layout, it was just a whitewood, and so it wasn't like there was toys there besides that Newton ball lock thing that raises up. But what he actually showed was how you could make a fun flipping game just through layout only.
Yes.
Yep.
Totally.
and then you
agree.
watched him play it, and it looks like the flowiest game ever made.
Yep.
Because he had the thing where you could like hold your flipper button up or whatever, and then loop combos and all this crazy stuff.
I like the video mode where you had to like play the drums or something as the Krieger,
Yeah.
I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It played Rush.
Yeah.
It played the Rush instrumental. I can't remember the name of it, like YZZ or something like that. And you're supposed to play to it. Yeah.
Archer's a cool show. So one little bit that I missed on the Stern of the Union is Stern is now has a distributor in China. I want you to.
Yeah, it's called Home Pin. He's doing great for you guys.
Oh. He has a wonderful Thunderbirds game.
Yes, we're all set.
Plays
Yeah.
great.
And it is the Guangzhou Stern Electronic Technology Company.
What do
AKA
you guys, as people that live in the US, you know, what is your impression of Homepin? Because he kind of often says he doesn't, you know, he's not making Thunderbirds for the US market. So does that make you feel weird like that?
No.
No,
I mean,
I have no interest in it.
Okay.
See, unlike Bruce, I have interest in all new games, and I listen to you guys talk about it. I had interest in it. And I wonder what this thing looks like, and then I saw what it looked like. Then I saw how it shot, and I started to lose interest.
Yeah.
And then
I mean,
the
it
board
reminded me-
issues, you
It
know,
looked
that
like
was the problem.
Surfing Safari with the little the trees there it had or whatever. That's what it reminded me of.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like Surfing Safari, so
Yeah, same.
It's been rejigged and retweaked and yeah, but we won't go into Homepin. But yeah, Stern is now has a distributor in China, which would be quite interesting because there's a big divide in China between the rich and the poor, and even though there's a population of 1.3, 1.4 billion, you know, it's only, I guess, the really rich people that can afford. Well, I guess like in the US and America as well.
Yeah.
You really have to pump a lot of money into pinball machines if you want to be in the hobby. So that's interesting. Let's see how, you know, let's see if they can get into that market and I don't know. Do Chinese people, do they watch like Guardians of the Galaxy and things like that? They'd be into Star Wars, right?
yeah, I have no idea.
No
That's
idea.
a good question.
Well,
It's kind of like when they had Wheel of Fortune as a theme, and then Europeans were like, we don't even watch that here.
If you allow me just to read out, this is from that press release that they just put for the distributor for China. I just want to call this out. It says recent Stern titles include Guardians of the Galaxy, Star Wars, Aerosmith, Batman. You still with me? Ghostbusters, Game of Thrones, WWE, WrestleMania, The Walking Dead, Mustang, Star Trek, Metallica, X-Men, AC/DC, Tron, Transformers, Avatar, and many more.
So that's the last 7 or 8 years worth of pinball machines.
Yep, pretty much.
And it kind of just starts going downhill.
Well, okay, I think Avatar was really big in China, I believe. They fell in love with that movie. So maybe, do you think there'd be a rerun of Avatars for China?
I don't know. Is Mustang big in China?
I don't know.
I doubt it.
I wonder what the price is
WrestleMania?
as well, because there's no way they would sell them, for the same price. Like Windows, like if you go to China and you want to buy like a Windows license, it costs like $2 or something, because they know they're just going to pirate it if they don't sell it cheap. So maybe we can figure out a backdoor to get cheap pins from China just by like a grey market import. Hardy, that could be a side business for us.
Love it. Sounds like a great idea.
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
Good things turn
Great
up and
idea.
listen to our podcast.
All right. Anything you guys want to mention?
Well, we're the Slamtail Podcast. We could be found on the internet. Just search for Slamtail Podcast. We have a Twitch feed. Just search for Slamtail Podcast. We're on YouTube. Just search for Slamtail Podcast, and there you go. Hopefully, we will be coming back in January. What do we say? January 5th? Is that when we said we were coming back? Yeah, January 4th. Sorry,
Yeah.
January 4th. That's it. Is Bruce still on, or did he fall asleep? You didn't have any of his trademark yawns during this podcast.
Nope, not at all. I'm actually
I
coffeeed up.
noticed that.
I was actually going to call that out. So, yeah, I think we don't bore him.
I think Ron.
Oh, no,
bores
I'm
him.
actually coffeed up. Yes, I'm all coffeed up.
Get a dog up here, Bruce?
Dog up, yeah.
Oh.
Dog up, yeah.
Oh, God. How about you, Bruce?
The Silver Ball Saloon. If you're in Rochester, come check us out. Like us on Facebook. We're going to have world famous Ryan C there soon. Crikey, you have an open invitation for both my house and Ron's house. So you have 2 free room nights. Nice.
Ron, I'm gonna play dialed in nonstop. Ron, you're not gonna be able to make me play all these old games.
I can see that. He comes down here, just plays dialed in, and none of the other 20 whatever games.
You know what I'm obsessed with on dialed in. I know it sounds really superficial, but when I get a high score, even if it's like today's high score, I'm obsessed with pulling the dumbest face I can and taking a photo of it.
Hell yeah.
I don't know why.
I feel you there. Yeah.
Because the first time I put a high score in, you realize how stupid you look and how sad you look when you're playing pinball. You get this like serious kind of face going on. You're like, what? That's not what I'm feeling. I feel like I'm having an awesome time. So every single one of my high scores is just like this stupid picture. And I absolutely love it. All right, guys.
All right. Yeah.
You should call this episode the Dialed In Mutual Admiration Society or something.
Yeah.
It's like dialed in.
Kumbaya, kumbaya.
Okay, how about this title can be called Dialed In Circle Jerk.
Oh, yes. Love it.
Sure.
Am I the pivot man? Oh, my.
I would just like to thank you guys for having us on.
Thank you very much, and you guys are always welcome to come. We need to get somebody else on ours now.
Guess what, guys? You guys are actually the reason why we are doing the podcast, because Marty listened to me on your show for the 50th episode, and he messaged me and I was like, hey, I just listened to you on Slam to a podcast. It was awesome. Like, I was thinking about doing the same thing. So it actually,
It's actually
it was
a true story.
directly. Directly from you guys. So,
Somebody else made you world famous.
we exist because of you. So thank you very much for entertaining us weekly, and thanks for coming on the show.
Or you entertain us too, in more ways than one. Oh my!
This really is a circle jerk.
It is.
I'm going on to vote for you guys right now. Best podcast.
Jerk, a couple of yankaroos.
Okay, say goodbye, Bruce.
You hang up.
Good.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you very much. You guys rock as always.
All right, bye.
Okay, see you later. Bye.
So there you go. That was the Slam Tilt podcast sort of breaking their hiatus just to come on our show. They pretty much begged us to come on.
Yeah, the people wanted them to come back, so we got them back. It was a long break for them, a 1 week break, but there's your Slam Tilt podcast, Phil. So, Jack Danger's in Australia.
Well, yes, he is actually still here, and he has been streaming a lot. He has been all through Brisbane and the Gold Coast. It looks like he's having a good time.
Yep, except for that bit where he ate Vegemite for the first time. So
He did. But so, listeners, here we go. If you are ever going to try Vegemite, here's my advice to you. Don't slap on a huge amount of Vegemite for the first time. Just a thin scraping, just to get a little bit of the taste, and then work your way up. He just had literally dollops of Vegemite on that bloody bit of toast. No wonder.
I wonder if he did it or someone served him that to set him up, because it's not peanut butter or jam or something. It's pretty much salt. It's like concentrated yeast and salt. So you just apply it lightly on butter, and it is nice. I have it almost every day. I didn't have it as a kid. It's something that kind of I got attached to later on in life. Vegemite's good stuff, but don't be silly and take spoonfuls of it.
Yeah, it's pretty foul if you've got too much.
So yeah, he's been streaming, hugging koalas, and there was a lot of tournaments on in Queensland. There was one on Friday night, Saturday night, and yesterday we had is it called the Queensland Open?
Yeah, I think it is the Queensland Pinball Open. But you know, it was actually really good to see. I think it might have been on Saturday as well. He actually ventured down to Netherworld in Brisbane. So, a good friend of the show, Jimmy, who was our very first interview on Head to Head. He runs Netherworld, and they had a Flip Frenzy. Now we've talked about Flip Frenzy, and we had Jimmy on to talk about the software. And Jack Danger finally got to play a Flip Frenzy format.
Yeah, apparently he's a fan. And me and Marty were just kind of talking about it off air. Is it might not be. Who knows if it'll ever crack the US tournament scene and be a popular format. But I was talking to Luke today, the head of the IFPA, and he said close to 10% of all tournaments in Australia are actually Flip Frenzy tournaments. And the reason why it's so popular here is that it has a start time and a finish time. So it's not going to last accidentally for 8 hours if you have long playing games. And there's no wait time pretty much. The maximum time you're waiting is a couple of minutes between games, and even if you are the worst player there, you play pretty much the same amount of games as everyone else.
Yeah, so it's very accessible to all players. It generally does favour the better players. They usually will have a better win-loss ratio, but because you are playing so many more games, you still do have more chances of actually not beating your opponent.
Yeah, it's if I was an elite player, which I'm never going to be, I might not like this format, but people need to be interested in pinball, and this is the perfect, I think, format for that. And I don't think a noob has ever won it. The cream will always rise to the top. But the reason why we talk about it so much is we have a lot of US listeners that probably, I guess we want this format to catch on, is what I'm saying. Well,
we do. It didn't come from Australia. Apparently, it came from Japan. But it really is a popular format now in Australia.
Yeah. So there is a Japanese tournament scene?
I believe there is. Okay. There's a massive, I think it might be called the Silver Ball Museum or something like that in Osaka, which has got, so many great machines. So I believe there is a pinball community there. But, again, with the Flip Frenzy, it is a lot of the tournaments that we go to, because particularly in Australia where there's not that much of a big following, you really have the elite players that constantly win, and then you have everybody else. So, some people do come and go, and I've spoken to some people that have sort of given it up, and basically what they said is, I am never going to beat so-and-so, so what's the point? Well, the point is to have some fun, but if you're only playing 2 games and you've got an hour wait in between games and you're always going to get beaten, then over time it's not going to become fun. The good thing about Flip Frenzy is it is 3 hours of solid play, and even if you win or lose, it really doesn't matter because you've actually had a lot of gameplay.
Yeah, even my friend Nemo, who's only played 5 tournaments, I think he played like 22 games in that 3.5 hours, and I think he won 6 or so games, and he was stoked with that. Like, you don't know who you're going to get matched up with, and every other format to him isn't as good. So I'm gonna reach out to tournament directors. If you are listening,
around the world, and you're wondering to yourself, how can I get more people into the tournament scene? I've tried all these things, I've done advertising, I just can't get new players to come in, or if I do, they won't stick. Reach out to us, head2headpinball@gmail.com, and ask us about the Flip Frenzy format, and we will give you all the information you need, because this format has been integral in introducing a lot of new players into the scene in Australia.
The only, I guess, hard part about the tournament is that it's very chaotic, and that's why I named my little tournament Chaos in Melbourne City, because it is about the Flip Frenzy tournament. And, I've got a little spreadsheet here that was given to me by Luke, and I'm trying to figure it out tonight. I did reach out to, I think it's Andreas, who runs Match Play events, and hopefully he'll be able to do something like a queuing system. And everyone knows about Jimmy's software, but they haven't released that to the public, where it's an automated system to organize everything. But yeah, we'll talk about it more another day.
Yeah,
maybe.
It is really the only downside, having now helped run, I think, 3 Flip Frenzies. It is very, very taxing on the tournament director, and usually requires 2 people to run it.
Well, I'm running it by myself, so
well,
let's see how we go.
I am not going to offer help, because you said that you can do it.
I can. I am. I'm very naive. So, so Jack Danger, he was there.
He came third.
He came third, yep. The Queensland Pinball Open was won by Luke French, who beat out Brent Goodwin, who came second. I thought Peter Watt wins everything there, but that's awesome that Luke French got up for the win. And Jack Danger, John Cosson was involved in it, and I think also Jason Lambert, who runs a lot of the tournaments there. And they exposed pinball in a really good light, I think, because I saw little clips posted up on Facebook from Channel 7 News, which is like, there might be 1 million people watching that through Australia, and Jack Danger is the perfect candidate, I think, for showing off pinball and being an ambassador for pinball.
Yeah, I absolutely agree, and it doesn't hurt that Jack Danger is, well, let's just call it out there, he is very presentable as a representative for the pinball community. He is cool looking, he is cool talking, he's got tats over him. So if you're gonna have cameras on someone as an ambassador for pinball to make it look cool, you're gonna go to Jack Danger.
He's like a bad boy, but like not too bad, right? Like you could take him home to your mum, right?
Are you saying he's like the good Charlotte of pinball?
I'm saying what I said last week. Jack Danger, do you want to root?
I reckon he'd be up for it. He's a good guy. He is a good guy. So
right.
It's really good. Good to have him out, and we'll echo thanks to Time Zone Australia and also AMD for bringing him out,
and John Cosson for letting him sleep on the couch and making him hate Vegemite. This week in pinball, what did you get up to, Marty?
Well, I have now gotten rid of Sopranos, and I now have in my house a very, very, very nice Game of Thrones Pro. It is very nice.
Have you been playing it lots?
I've played it non-stop since it arrived here on Wednesday, and I because of I live in a townhouse, so there's lots of noise, so I don't normally play it at night. I have played this every single night and all weekend, and I love it. And what's really interesting is that I hadn't played it for a while, and it is the Pro. So coming back to it after, let's say, probably 6-7 months of really not playing it solid, I've really come to really appreciate how much of a great game it is.
Yeah, I don't think it was very well received when it came out, because it was a new kind of format of pinball coding where you had houses and you can choose to bring them in, and that initial confusion is over for a lot of people, but there's still some people that don't get it. There are intricacies to the rules. Like, I still don't understand how the multipliers work for each lane. I think it's when you get a combo, but maybe you can explain it to me another day. But yeah, it's I'm looking forward to getting it when you're sick of it, which, I don't know, it sounds like that might be a while.
Well, I mean, technically we did go halves in it, didn't we?
Yeah, but you can have it for as long as... I'm not going to say I want it now.
We'll see until I get sick of it. But I've said this before, and I'll say this again. I've always been, Pro versus, Premium and LE. I've always sort of been, they're both really good machines. I've just got to say now, after playing this non-stop, I much prefer the Pro because that upper playfield just takes you out of the game. Does that make sense? Like when you've got this game, it really is a flow game. It's Steve Ritchie, of course, it's a flow game. But because you are constantly on edge, waiting for the ball to come back, you're in the mode. You're there. You're ready. When you get up to that upper playfield, it kind of takes you away from the game. Your energy changes. Your focus changes. So I much prefer the Pro.
And it's huge, and it's ugly. It is so ugly, that upper playfield. Maybe people are used to it now, but I remember when I first saw it, and you kind of compare it to the Wizard of Oz castle, and you're just like, wow, they didn't even put any effort into the bricks. It's just a piece of plastic, like plastics that you use on slings, with bricks printed on them. It's just a box. I do like the LE. I do like the Pro. The LE cabinet looks absolutely beautiful. The lights in there are a lot better. You might not realize, but the lights in our Game of Thrones Pro have been kind of upgraded because the stock ones are a bit shitty. But the other cool thing about the Pro is that the orbits are actually orbits, because on the LE and the Pro, the diverter, there was the diverter issue that never got fixed, even though it was promised to be fixed, and they got coded out of the game. Do you remember that, or not really?
No, not really.
Yeah, I'll talk about it another day. But it was an issue. They said they were going to fix it, and they coded it out of the game. So the left orbit now automatically diverts into the pops. The right orbit goes all the way around, where it's meant to be. When you're in Martel, for example, the left orbit is meant to go all the way around. Anyway, I digress. Anything else?
No, that is it. I didn't play a comp this week yet again, and I haven't been in a comp now, I think, since Melbourne Match Play.
You're teasing everyone. You're luring them into a false sense of security, so you can smash them all in the Flip Frenzy at my house and then Heads Up tonight. Right? Yeah,
well, I think that's pretty much what it's going to be. No, it's just that for me and my work, the end of year becomes very busy, and a lot of, let's call it, client schmoozing. I've got a lot of clients, and this is the time of the year where I take them out for dinner. So why not?
You should take him out to pinball. You'll never see him again.
I don't think I'm at that stage where I'm really ready yet to admit my pinball to my clients just yet.
I've been getting my pinball machines ready for the tournament, making the tilts a little bit tighter. So I'm going through them kind of systematically one by one, and trying to make them a little bit harder, but not too hard, because I am going to have a lot of people there that are new to pinball. Or new to tournaments, so I don't want them to feel horrible, but at the same time, I don't want Richard Rhodes and Jordan Treadaway to spend an hour on one machine during the tournament. So there's a fine line there that I'm trying to do. Someone messaged me and said just take all the post rubbers off, but I think if you set the tilt up tighter, then that's probably more fair than taking the rubbers off, because then if you're trying to nudge, you have to, there's an art to it. I don't know. I don't think I have the guts to take all the rubbers off the posts. What else have I been doing? Still dialed in? No, it's pretty much done. It's playing beautifully. I still don't have the motor. That will come soon. What else did I do? I went on Friday night. I went to a mate's house I've been to a while, and we played pinball until 2 a.m. Dave's house, and we pretty much played every single machine just once, and I put up a massive score on Game of Thrones, the LA. And I finished every single house, and I just had Targaryen to go, and Targaryen is too much of a hard mode compared to the other modes.
Yeah.
And Baratheon always, I think it was the first time I ever played Baratheon mode, because you have to hit the drop targets down so many times to get there. What else did I do? I went to Argonauts. Sorry. Yeah. So on Thursday night, I went down to the Argonauts tournament, and I was feeling good. I think I messaged you and I said I'm going to win, just to pump myself up. Man, I don't know what happened, but I felt like I played and put up better scores than any other day, and I qualified 8th. I think everyone was having like a really good day that day. And I mean, if you were there, I wouldn't have qualified because there's no way that you wouldn't have been in the top 8. So I just scraped in, and unfortunately, because I came 8th, I had to play the top seed, which was Jordan Treadaway. And
How did that go for you?
I fucking smashed him, man.
Is what you would want to say.
The first game was on Star Wars. I mean, it's embarrassing to mention my score of 250 million or whatever it was, because his score on ball 2, he didn't even need to place the ball, was like 2 point something billion. He'd blown up the Death Star. He'd done everything. Victory laps for like 5 minutes. The second game, I'd already resigned that I'd lost at that point. I'm thinking, should I hang around for the top, the playoff for 5th position? Like, it's kind of pointless. I should go out with my mate instead. So I thought that might be a bit rude. So in my head, I'm not even thinking about the next game. And I should have been, because I was playing him in Walking Dead, and he got a couple of bad balls, and he ended up with 45 million. And that's easily achievable, especially on the new code.
Yeah.
And on my last ball, I had set things up. I had one more shot for prison. I was sitting at 2x playfield going, riot going. All I need to do is hit that stupid head that is sitting there in the barn, and I drained on about 31 million or whatever it was. So and I turned around, and Luke sat there, he's like, if you just hit that one shot, you would have won. And I'm like, thank you, Luke. Which is true. But and then I did hang around. I don't know why I did, because I don't know, playing off for 5th position, like, it makes sense if there's like a B division and you can still win something. But I'm playing off IFBA points, which I don't really care about too much. So, the last game, I can't remember what it was. I think it was Jackpot or something. No, it was Star Wars. It was that floaty Star Wars. And
Yes.
they've moved it around, and you can't backhand the scoop anymore, which is like my go-to thing. And I came last on it, and I came 8th. So it was an extra kind of hour of pain for no reason.
But did you have fun?
I think I had more fun. I don't know. I'm competitive, but when I don't win, then I enjoy doing simpler things. Like I played Aerosmith was there. They've taken out WWE. They've put Aerosmith Pro there, and I was playing with Nemo while we're waiting for the final results in the kind of the A division to finish, and I had more fun doing that than playing in the finals. I don't know. I don't like playing slower floaty games. So all of my games in the tournament are going to be set up fast and a bit harder than normal. And because that's just the way I like it. If a ball floats and I can't predict where it's going to go, because the slower it is, the more likely that a divot or a miler or something on the play field is going to change the direction of the ball, right? I know I'm sounding really fussy here, but that just irritates me. That's why I set up my Hobbit Steep, because there are so many kind of divots and stuff, and the ramp flaps and the beast flaps, all those flaps on the playfield. I need it fast so that the ball is more predictable. There we go. Mailbag?
Let's go for the mailbag.
So do you want to read the first email? Do you have it in front of you? Or am I doing this all? Okay. I got a message from Nick Novan. So last week I said that in Twitch, I don't know how to rewind the show while it's still going. You have to wait for the replay. And he said there's a little trick where you can clip something with the clipper icon on Twitch that allows you to go 1 or 2 minutes past, just a tip. Which is handy. I know people do that a lot to you when you swear and stuff on your Twitch feed.
I do not. That is not true.
Got an email here from Bruce Nightingale. Hey guys, I don't want to be on hiatus. Bloody Ron wants a break from the show. I'd love to come on your show. Please, 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 please let us come on your show. Well, we did it, Bruce. Okay, you're on the show.
A totally legit email.
That is a real email. It's definitely not made up. We got a message from Mike T up in the US, and he says, great podcast, guys. Love listening from Ohio, Columbus. We have a strong pin contingent here, i.e. Trent. I guess that's Trent Augustine. Keep it up. I love the banter. And he wants a shout out to, oh gosh, 4 things. The Mofo Mid Ohio Pinball League. What is the Mofo? Is that like, are they mother effers?
I don't know.
Is it all dads because they're effing their wife and they have children? No? Okay.
Maybe.
Maybe, well, let us know, Mike, what MoFo stands for. The OPL, Ohio, is it OPL? Ohio Pin League, Level 1 Silver Ball Super, and the League at the Arcade. So he knows a lot of people, and a shout out to all those people.
Again, look, we've said this before, but it's just very cool that, we started doing this because we wanted something for, the Australian community, and to have so many people giving us feedback from the States, it's just awesome.
Yeah, and don't be afraid to email us, because we pretty much respond and read out every single email. Well, not pretty much, we do.
Yeah.
Unless you write, please don't read this out. Yeah. So Steve D emailed us and said, just a little correction. The Jack fucking Pot call out on Metallica is for the 4-time super, not the double super on Metallica. So you need a snake going, holding a ball, and then you must have fuel running, and then you hit up the middle when the super's lit for the double super jackpot. So I knew that, but for some reason I had a brain fade when I was doing it, and yeah.
So anyway, Mid-Ohio Flipper Organisation. There you go, MoFo.
Okay. I wanted him to email. Now he's not going to even message back.
Well, it helps to Google, is all I'm saying.
It does. So just remember, guys, if you want to come to my event, the Flip Friends, I limit it to 32 people. We've blown past that now, and I did set up Sopranos in the garage, and it is playing well, and I can level machines in there. So I'm going to put like 6 or so in there, spread everyone out. I think I can have up to 18 machines, I think.
Wow.
Including, so we can have, I think, 42 or so people Flip Frenzy. I think we're up to 36 now. So not many positions left. I've got people coming from interstate, which is awesome. There's 3 guys coming down from South Australia, or coming across, and I think 1 guy from New South Wales, which is great. I love it's a bit weird that people are traveling for my event. But,
and if anyone is coming from overseas, let us know, because we will hook you up. We will put you up wherever we can in Melbourne, and you can go to Ryan's and play lots of pinball.
Yeah, hopefully it's gonna be a really relaxed event, and nothing too serious. Just people getting together and having fun. And I know there's people listening to it that think, I don't want to go because I don't know Ryan. I don't care. Come along. I'm serious. Like I messaged Paul RJ. I'm like, hey, you come to everything. Like, are you coming? He's like, yeah, sure, I'll come. I'm like, yeah. Well, just he didn't want to, impose himself, but he's coming. He's going to win the whole thing.
Well, and for those people that are thinking that, let me just say, there was a time when I didn't know Ryan, and I know Ryan now. It is not a difficult thing to do, is what I'm getting at. It's really easy. Come along. And we've also said this before. The best thing that you will have in your favour when you turn up to this event is your love of pinball. Because you can walk in and you can literally say, so, how about that pinball? And bang, you will be right into a conversation.
Say anything. Say, how about those Stern bastards releasing unfinished code? Anything. Any conversation starter. It's very easy.
You could say how much I love the flashes that Dwight Sullivan puts in his games.
I'm buying Creature from Black Lagoon so I can slap him around a little bit. No. Okay. Are we done?
Yep. How can people find us?
You can jump on our website, which is head2headpinball.com. Email us at head2headpinball@gmail.com. On our website, you got links to our Instagram, our Facebook. Like us on Facebook. It's awesome. We post cool stuff once a week. Just reminding you people to Instagram. Subscribe to us on iTunes and leave a review telling everyone how awesome we are. It helps. Spread the pinball words. If you got someone that's into pinball that isn't listening to our podcast, let him know. See if he likes it. You might not be friends with him the next week, but, it helps.
Awesome.
Hey, Marty.
Yes.
Gay marriage is now legal in Australia.
Is it?
Yeah. Will you marry me?
No.
Last Christmas. I fucking hate this song. I gave you my heart, and the very next day you gave it away. This year, to save you from tears, I'll give it to Dalding because it's special. I hate that song. Every year it just starts playing.
Well, you know what? You may hate that song, but you may have some consolation that Wham got sued by Barry Manilow for that song, even though it was a charity song. There you go. Merry fucking Christmas.
Okay. All right, guys.
All right, see ya.